Hey guys, this is going to be a video kind of outside of the norm from what I've done. I've talked about some of the things that I've done as far as being a content creator before. Done streams on it, not a whole lot of individual videos. I kind of told you my setup and stuff like that, but I wanted to reiterate this and kind of let you guys in on what it is that I've done and what I've been able to sort of accomplish, or more so how I've been able to accomplish what it is that I have as just having a successful financial year. And that's the whole concept for the video, right? Is that last year, so you're looking at 2019, and over the span of my entire life as a artist, content creator, even in actually working, a 9 to 5 job over the course of my, I guess, short life, because I'm only 29 years old, last year was my most successful financial year. And I attribute that to my grit and grind when it comes to actually working, right? Because anybody can get on YouTube or anybody can get on anything platform and say that they're grinding or working hard. But are they really? And that was something that I had to do in terms of looking in the mirror and just analyzing everything that I do, right? Because I do have a lot of aspirations, and that keeps me grounded, to be completely fair. It keeps me grounded in the things that it keeps me focused, right? Because I do have a lot of things that I'm interested in. If you look at all the things that I juggle between my band, backwards, we have the content that I create. So where you see it on YouTube and such, but the content it's a lot of things that it comes with, right? When you look at not just my YouTube, you look at Being Libertarian, beinglibertarian.com, because I am the head of multimedia over there. And so you have those elements, YouTube, Facebook as well, that sort of ties into that. Also, as a professional in terms of, let's say, like with the ghostwriting and stuff like that, voice acting credits that I've been able to collect I have a lot of different things that I want to do that I do, that I do even in the background, that from just business and stuff like that. It's just, I'm able to juggle all of those different things because, again, it starts with my desire to work. Now, there's 24 hours in a day, right? That's it, 24 hours. So you have your sleep that you have to get, and whether you're working out, eating stuff to sort of maintain your personal health. And I do that, and then the rest of the time is spent literally working. Like, that's what I'm doing. Like, I'm working. I don't have a lot of leisure time, and that's because the leisure, I would argue, is my work. Is the other things that I do, the videos that I create, whether I'm reading, it doesn't matter what it is that I'm doing. I get some sort of satisfaction in that. So I don't go out. I don't go out like that. I don't. Everything that when I do leave the house, it's pertaining to something that's of work. Granted, yes, there are your holidays and stuff like that I go and see my other family members and stuff, but for the most part, everything that I do when I leave the house is centered around me it's pertaining to work in some sense. So I wake up very early to get to work, very, 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 very early. Usually I'm up, depending on, like, if it's on an off day, like when I'm working out and stuff, I'm up by 4:30. Any other day, it's like, about 6:30 and stuff like that. And from then on to the late in the night, I'm working. I'm making videos. I'm doing something that's, regarding my work. And cutting out, I know social media I look at as a leech, because it's a beautiful thing, but it also can, like, leech off of your productivity. I used to be a guy that was very active on social media in the sense that it was pointless, right? Definitely from the political element, getting involved in these stupid arguments with people, ramming my head into a wall, wasting time, walls of text, trying to convince people from a political perspective, right? So that's time wasted that I could have been spent doing some sort of video or something like that. So once and if you followed me over the years, you've noticed that I tweet a lot less, for example. And that's part of it. Because, again, that's something that I've had to look in the mirror at myself and say, all right, I don't make money from Twitter. I'm not making money from comments on Facebook. It's a little different if I'm maybe commenting with people back and forth on YouTube, because that at least helps my engagement, right, on that platform. So I cut that out a lot. So when I do converse, and that's not to say that I don't tweet at all. Obviously I tweet and I come in, I chime in on certain things and whatnot. But when I just won't spend just a long period of time going back and forth. Like I had to look in the mirror with the whole Talib Kweli thing when him and I got into it, and we were going after it at each other for like the course of a very long time that I wasted arguing with that knucklehead. I could have been spending doing my videos. So that's why I just stopped it altogether. Once I realized that he was not willing to get into some, like, let's say argue, like a debate, legitimate, like a live debate on the subject, that should have been my time to cut it out. And eventually I did end up doing that. But that's something that I should have did a long time ago. And if I did do that a long time ago, I could have been doing other things. But it's just little things like that. Productivity, man, it's a real thing. Certainly if you're going to be a content creator in any regards. It's not easy because people have gotten so used to, definitely, again, the social media leech, where they got to put on the show. They got to do a lot of, interacting in that regards, and they want to sit around, watch TV, and all that's fine and dandy. But is it productive when it comes to your personal life? Right. And I get that I'm kind of wired different, because a lot of people don't, like, they look at that like, oh, they want to go do this, they want to go do that, and they look at that as fun, and I simply don't. And I think that's sort of the sacrifice that you have to make. I don't consider it one, but that's sort of the sacrifice that you would have to make, I believe, because everybody doesn't just strike gold, right? Some people do. Some people strike gold and they get lucky and they find something that they can do, I guess, not dedicate a lot of time to, and it can be very lucrative. A lot of other people, and I'd argue most people, don't have that, and they have to sort of dedicate time to a lot of different things. And once they do that, one of those may strike gold, but it all comes with having to work, right? And that's simply what I did over the course of the last year, and why I believe that it was my most successful financial year, because I dedicated my time, or more time than I ever had, to just work. So I put myself in a way better position financially, and because of that, I've been able to do things that I otherwise couldn't do, even making my content, let's say, greater. We talked about the video studio that's on the way once we move out of here. Like, I'm able to make my content greater because of the money that I've been able to bring in. So it funds itself, right? That's sort of the thing that you have to do. And that's not attractive. Nobody wants to hear that. Oh, man, you mean tell me I got to get up and get to work and do these tedious videos? Like, yeah. That's how I was able to do it. Again, I get the idea of working less, and I could probably coast and make a decent amount of money, but my aspirations are millions of dollars, right? Millions, billions of dollars, right? Those are my aspirations, and being able to fund my family's family, right? Those are my aspirations, right? And I can have fun doing it, right? These are things that I love. I can talk comic books, I can talk my music, and stuff that I like to do, so it's fun. But in order to do it and make it the most lucrative that I possibly can, I have to work. I've accepted that. And that's the harsh reality. Everybody wants a shortcut to everything. You even have this culture, like when you look at, like, let's say mainstream leftists, for example, they want to act like the whole pulling yourself under by your bootstraps is just like a myth, which to me is mind-boggling considering how I came up. But you have people that want to demonize work. You have a lot of people that legitimately want to demonize work, grind. So if you can cancel that out and just get to work, it's a simple solution. But the problem is it's not, let's say, sexy, right? Sexy is more so, okay, how could I take a shortcut to get to the top? How can I take a shortcut to get the most money? It ain't, and this is why I think you have built a culture of people that are envious of people because they look at wealth as this fixed pot. It's like they look at, oh, well, this person has way more money than what I have. They have way more money than me. And that's wrong. Why do they have so much money? That's how they look at it. And I don't look at it like that. I look at people that have a lot of money. I'm like, man, I'm trying to get to that point. So how can I gear my own personal life and my own personal work to make it lucrative so I can make that much money, right? So it's almost inspiration, right? When I see people that have made a lot of money, whereas I've never looked at it as envious, right? When I look at people that have, let's say, more popular YouTube pages, I don't look at them. I'm not envious of them, right? It's just like, hey, they got a lot of followers. They built a community. Okay, get to work. So my personal belief is that there aren't really any shortcuts. I'm pretty sure there's going to be people in the comments that are going to be trying to poke at what I said and like they're going to look at it as this something negative. I've had people tell me this all the time. Well, you need to take a step back, man, and just enjoy. I'm like, no. I get the enjoyment from getting to work. That's my enjoyment. This for me is fun. Maybe tedious sometimes. But at the end of the day, I'm creating. I'm in my creative space. I'm fine with that. I get to work. I don't beg people or anything like that. I get to work. That's what I do. Cutting back from the social media, the pointless social media. Now my social media is more so used more than anything to funnel traffic to the different things that I'm involved in, which ultimately makes me money, right? So I get the whole work smarter, not harder is the theme that a lot of people want to use, right? Or utilize. And I understand that. But I've adopted a more of approach that's work smarter and work harder. So I want to increase my efficiency, but I don't want to sacrifice my ethic, my work ethic, for the sake of boosting my productivity. You see what I mean? So, or boosting my outcome, right? I would like to do both if I can. So maintain my grit and my grind, but become more efficient so I can do more things. That's more so my approach. And I think that is what I attribute my last year to be my most financial year. And it was my most financial year that I've ever had as an adult. And I've done so many things over the course of the years, and I've gone through different, being a professional, and it was just my most successful. And it was because I've always been a worker, right? But for me, it was removing the things that took away from the work that I easily could dedicate that time to creating. Not sexy. A lot of people are going to tell you that. But that's how I did it. And I think that that's a method for success, no matter what it is that you're doing. I think you're going to have a greater chance of being great and being financially successful if you put the work in. It doesn't matter what it is that you do, but it sounds good and people send the tweets out and stuff like that and they say that they're working, right? Working hard, but there's a lot of show for that, right? It's a lot of, okay, I want to create the illusion that this is the case. I've even tricked myself to believe this is the case, but are you really working? Right? That time that you spend, spending like an hour or something, just sitting there really twiddling your thumbs on your phone or sitting there, tweeting, texting, or just watching, was that some time that you could have used to dedicate towards your craft? And often there are ways to minimize that because it's, again, once you get caught in that, time flies, man. You're like, yeah, I'm just going to kind of kick back and do this for a little bit, take a little rest. And then next thing you know, you have taking 4 hours you wasted 4 hours, collective hours, and that stuff adds up over like the course of the week. And this was something that I did, and paying attention to that. I started paying attention. I'm like, dang, I did this, and that over the course of the week, allocated 7 hours to doing nothing. That I easily could have dedicated that towards my craft. It didn't help my psyche. It wasn't like okay, I need a refresher. That wasn't what it was. Just me literally wasting time. So I attribute the success that I have to work, and like actual work, waking up early and getting to work, like getting to work. When I turn this video off, for example, I have a comic book already open, right? When I turn this video off, and I upload it, make my thumbnails or whatever, I'm getting right back, my nose right back to the comics, so I can get my ideas to create some sort of content. And this is the day I recorded this, right? I just, that's what I wanted to dedicate this time to, right? To making the video. So that's just what it is. It's work, man. And I'm up early, doing this, right? I wake up really, really early, and I get to get to work. And sometimes it's not this. Sometimes it's not the comic book related stuff. Sometimes it's tending to other things. But I'm just using that as an example. It's not sexy, but my most successful year ever, I attribute it to work.